Hello everyone, this is an unscripted rant video about Five Nights at Freddy's because the new Secret of the Mimic game was pretty straightforward, but story-wise, welcome back. We're confused again. So this could age poorly, just given how much things change. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty damn sure in this exact moment that this house from Five Nights at Freddy's 4, that being Afton's house, generally considered to be Afton's house, with this bedroom, with this layout, all of that with sister location underneath it, is not the same house that looks like this from Secret of the Mimic, Edwin's house, with this layout and this bedroom and this like underground area where the costume manor connects to it. It's not the same fucking place. Let me explain something. So a lot of you think this because the bedroom, you go into the secret bedroom for one of the secret endings. It's David's room, where the mimic is mimicking David, which is something that's super easy to predict beforehand, especially since in the little goosebumps ass novels that the mimic is mimicking David anyway, in those anyway. They should not be giving away big story things like that in the novels, in my opinion, but whatever. That's not the topic for today. So you go in there and boom, it jump scares you. Ironically enough, in this game, it's like, whoa, that looks like the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 room. My mind is blown. Wow, but it's not. It's not the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 room. First of all, biggest takeaway ever without thinking about anything else. The dresser is a completely different color. Like, completely. It's white. This one's blue. They repainted the dresser. Sure. And they remodeled the entire house. Sure. Guys, check out my house remodel. See, it used to look like this, but boom, yeah, look, I'm a pretty classy ass remodeler. That's not a fucking remodel. That's a demolish and rebuild. And when you demolish something, you wouldn't exactly keep a shitty closet and like a couple of toys and stuff in the same exact spot. Now, would you? Now, I'm applying logic to Five Nights at Freddy's, which is not a good idea normally, but these design inconsistencies that we're used to were a lot more common when Scott Cawthon was the guy developing them. Biggest example I could think of is Springtrap and Scraptrap, both looking entirely different, but they are indeed the same character. So let's go back to this. These look like the same rooms, and there's a story explanation of how they could be, so a lot of people online theorize that Afton took Murray's house and just rebuilt it. Now, this wouldn't have a lot of effect on the story, but I just genuinely think it's not what happened because it doesn't line up. Like, the pieces are not fitting together, which, again, common, but the layout is completely different. There are 2 floors in this house, and this house has 1 floor. What? Huh? The hallways, everything. It just doesn't work like at all. And one thing I want to point out is the design inconsistencies don't show up when Scott is not around. So when Steelwool references Scott stuff, they usually explain it away in a different way. Let's go to Security Breach with what are they calling him? Burn Trap? Sure, whatever. I don't care about names right now. Burn Trap. We find out, if this is the actual canon ending, I've heard different answers, that this is not Springtrap. Or it might be Springtrap's corpse, but it's not exactly Springtrap. It's actually just the Mimic disguised as Springtrap. Which is something we didn't know when Security Breach came out, but is something we know now. I could get into the specifics of that, but the point I'm trying to make is both of these things look the same. And in this specific instance, they are the same character, but the game is not saying Springtrap was always the Mimic. I'm sure someone out there is stupid enough to think, oh, the Mimic, Springtrap, and Security Breach, so maybe all the way back in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, he definitely is, when literally every other piece of media we have with Springtrap in it supports the complete opposite, including the games themselves. Springtrap was Afton, has been Afton. So be careful, guys, because this is a red herring. This is Steelwool likes to attach themselves to these original games. I think there's a lot of people passionate about Five Nights at Freddy's in that studio. The whole hire the fans thing, but the fans are messing it up a little bit. This is not the same house. If it is, shit, I'm wrong, but like, holy fuck, the logical leapholes that we would have to take. I know it's a lot to apply logic to this franchise, but we reached a point in the past couple of years where most stuff is figured out, and a lot of the new theories and new things that people are bringing about are completely redoing everything else, putting a lot of work on the rest of us to change all of it. Secret of the Mimic was a very scary game because it wasn't a horror game, but because it was so early in the franchise and it could mess up a lot of stuff. And it did. It established that nor Henry or William created Foxy and Chica. It was Murray's wife, or maybe even Murray himself. And it established that Fazbear Entertainment had bank for some reason, even though they really only have Chica's Party World and Fredbear's Family Diner. Which is, I don't think you'd have enough money to hire multiple technicians and hire such a expensive contractor based on how much staff Murray has. This is like Joey Drew Studios level of like big in this fucking place. So that there's some confusing things about this, and it has changed some preconceived notions about the franchise, but it is not the same fucking house. It looks completely different. Just because a couple of toys and a single dresser that looks the same is the same, nothing else is. You do not have the shitty lamp in the hallway. Remember that lamp that looked so bad? A lot of people commented on how bad it looked. It's not there. It's not in there. It's not there. So not the same room. I could argue it has the same toys and dresser because it was built at the same time as that other room. It's like if two kids from the 80s in completely different households both had ColecoVisions and the same G.I. Joe characters. It's like, yeah, it was the 80s, This is the early 80s. The buildings might be the same. There might be some design consistencies across decades, guys. Obligatory, that picture of the Soviet Union where two different places look exactly the same. You know what I'm talking about. So it's not the same place. It could be. I mean, you're allowed to make theories. That's what it's about. But I'm getting really tired of hearing it because everyone's like, guys, what if? And then it's like, dude, no, it doesn't make any fucking sense. So that's my rant. Thank you. Also, follow-up point. Why would there be a red herring in this franchise? I don't know. Ask the people making it. I don't know. It happens.